going on, folks? So Insta360 just launched their new mobile gimbal, the Flow 2 Pro, and it's packed with features that make capturing amazing videos super easy. I'm actually using it right now and thought, why not bring it along while exploring Tenerife? This little gimbal is perfect to bring along. It's compact and super powerful. In this video, I'll share some practical tips for using it to create a cinematic travel vlog. Now, a question I get asked often is, do you still need a mobile gimbal now that phone cameras have such good image stabilization? It really depends. For simple shots, you don't need a gimbal, but if you're like me and enjoy creating more exciting dynamic shots, a mobile gimbal can help you capture those angles and movements that are hard to achieve by hand. It also helps stabilize your videos even more and keeps the horizon straight. A gimbal also comes with extra features that make filming easier and more fun. So here are some easy tips using the Flow 2 Pro to create great looking vlogs. All right, people, before we dive into the tips, let me quickly share the setup and accessories I'm using. Now, all products mentioned are in the video description below. Now, obviously, I'm using the Flow 2 Pro, and what I love about it is its pocket size and easy portability. The setup is super simple with my iPhone 16 Pro Max, and I'm actually using this whole setup right now. I can attach my iPhone using the magnetic clamp, or my favorite option, Insta360's new MagSafe compatible magnetic phone mount. I can simply snap it onto the gimbal, unfold it, and it will automatically turn on, and I'm ready to go. What's also cool about the magnetic phone mount is that it doubles as a phone stand. I also always use a case with my phone when filming for protection. Now, the case I'm using is the Filmove case from SmallRig that also allows me to add their VND filter. Now, while I brought the VND with me, I actually ended up not using it because I'm just way quicker leaving most of the settings in auto and capturing the moments that way. Now, for audio, I'm using the Rode Wireless Micro, which is small, simple to use, and the audio quality just sounds really great. In fact, you're listening to it right now. Now, another cool feature is this backpack mount by Insta360, and this lets me attach the Flow 2 Pro to my bag, making it easy to carry when your pockets are full or you need quick access to your gimbal. Now, usually I would also bring a power bank with me, but the Flow 2 Pro has one built in. This means I can use it while charging the battery at the same time, which is essential when filming on the go, where you don't always have access to a power outlet. Now, I've been using this setup throughout my trip here in Tenerife. It has been working really great. I filmed many moments while also being able to fully enjoy the scenery around me, as well as activities without feeling weighed down by heavy gear or feeling overwhelmed, as the Flow 2 Pro makes it really easy to film yourself. So let me walk you through the Insta360 app and show you the best camera settings for shooting your travel vlog. So starting over here, we have the home button. Selecting that will bring you to this main page. And if you want to head back to the camera viewer, just select the camera icon. Now, as for the resolution and frame rate, you can find that over here. I shoot at the highest quality possible, which is 4K, and the frame rate I set to 25 frames per second when filming in regular speed and when doing talking head videos like right now. If I want to slow down my videos, I choose 60 frames per second. Then over here, I can set it from auto to manual, which gives me more control. So right now I don't have an ND filter on the selfie camera, but when I switch to the rear camera, you can see that I'm actually using an ND filter, and this allows me to achieve a natural motion blur in my shots. So I keep my shutter speed to double the frame rate, which is 1/50, and the ISO I leave at 100. Then next up, really important, is to set your white balance. I usually choose custom and dial in the temperature myself, but you can also choose one of these presets. So if it's sunny outside, you would choose sunny. Important is that you lock your white balance. This will prevent color shifts in your video. Below you have your parameters. So right now it's set to auto. You can see your shutter speed, the ISO, and exposure value. So let's now head over to the gimbal settings. For the flow mode, I leave it in auto, but you can also choose between follow, pan follow, and FPV. And if you don't know what each mode does, you can press on the eye icon. So for example, I choose auto, which is beginner friendly mode that automatically adjusts tilt and pan axis setting based on your movements. For example, running versus stationary, making it easier to shoot stable videos. And it also locks the roll axis, keeping your horizon leveled. Motor strength, I keep at medium, joystick speed, medium, barrel roll speed, medium. And barrel roll is where you create that inception effect. You can also choose the direction of the barrel roll between counter or counterclockwise. Zoom speed, I leave at medium. If you want to track a horse, you can do so. Then you have front cam auto tracking. So if I have that enabled and switch to the front camera, the tracking will be enabled, which keeps me in the center of the frame. And speaking of tracking, we also have additional options here. So I can choose tracking plus, which will do an even better job of tracking my face. Another cool feature is the reposition. So instead of always being in the center of the frame, I can choose to be at the bottom right or at the top left, creating a more interesting composition. And I usually keep it in the center, especially when I vlog. Now to enable tracking, I can also use the trigger button to disable it or enable it. Then there is always on tracking. So if you want the tracking to be on all the time, you can enable that. Then we have reverse joystick horizontal and vertical, which I leave disabled. We have the flow, sound, and vibration, which I also keep disabled. If you have problems with your gimbal, you can enable auto calibration. Also, if you want to adjust the horizon of your phone, you can do that, but be sure to first check if your phone clip is properly mounted. Then below, you also have the option to turn off the ring light or leave it at low, medium, or high. I usually keep it at medium. Now up here, you have your shooting templates, which is really cool if you're starting out. And what's really cool is that over here, I get a preview on how to create that shot and some additional information. And if I want to move on to the next shot, I can just swipe over here and now it will show you how to create the pullback. So if you're a beginner and need some ideas, these shooting templates are really helpful that you can follow and use to create your own travel videos. Up here, you can choose between different color presets. So this way you can skip the color grading process and choose one of these cool presets. I usually turn that off and prefer to do that in an editing software. Then up here you have face filters, but this isn't supported in 4K. I don't use it anyways. Then up here, what's really cool is gesture control. So when I select that, I can enable all of them. So when I do the peace sign, it will start recording. And if I want to stop the recording, I can hold up the peace sign again. And if I hold up my palm, it will start tracking and recording, which is really convenient. And if I want to stop it, I can just hold up my palm again. You also have multi-person tracking. So when I do that, it will detect multiple faces in the shots and I can choose whom to track just by tapping. Then I can tap me again. And if I want to stop it, I can just hold up this sign again and it will do so. So another cool feature Insta360 added is the teleprompter. So by selecting that, I can add a script. I can also move this box to the left to where the camera is. This way it isn't too noticeable when I read off the script. What's also cool is that I can use the smart wheel on the gimbal to scroll up or down. So for those of you who prefer using a script like I do, this is really a great feature. Then up here we have remote control. So by tapping on it, a QR code will appear and then I can use a second phone to scan the QR code to then control this phone. Now what's also cool is that I can use my Apple Watch to control the gimbal. So I'm launching the Insta360 app. It's searching for the gimbal. So it detected the flow. I can just select it and now I get a live preview of what the camera is seeing. So by touching the screen and then moving to the left or right, I can actually control the gimbal's direction. And this makes it really cool for self-filming and framing. And I can also recenter the gimbal. I can start and stop recording. And I have additional functions such as, changing it to portrait mode, choose between different shooting modes such as video and photo, and so on. This is pretty advanced, guys. Over here, I can switch between the selfie and front camera and also switch between different lenses. Over here, we have the gimbal battery life and my phone's battery life. And then over here, we have the record button and here the media. So let's now look at the general settings over here. So I leave grid enabled. This way I get the rule of thirds, as you can see, to help compose my shots better. Histogram I don't really use, but if you want, you can use it to also help to set your exposure properly. You can flip the selfie camera. If you want, you can also shoot in Dolby Vision. Then you also have automatic pop-up connection. This means whenever you connect your phone to this gimbal, a pop-up will appear in which you can directly access the Insta360 app. Yeah, if you want. Okay, let's do one photo. 3, 2, 1. Boom, automatic. Thanks, bye. Then you have scene recognition. So what it basically does is it analyzes your scene. The shot templates will appear, which will give you some ideas on how you can shoot that scene. Then you also have voice control if you want to use that. What's really cool is that you have the ability to shoot in ProRes, which means you can shoot your videos in the highest quality possible. So when I enable it, it tells me that it's better to record Apple ProRes externally as the file size are huge. Then I can choose between different Apple ProRes codecs. So there is log, SDR, and HDR. This is really exciting. For now, I'm going to disable that. If you want, you can also leave GPS enabled, which will record the location information of the shot. Now, if you're new to using the Flow 2 Pro, I recommend going through the quick start guide and also watching some of the tutorials. You also have the Flow button operation guide, the device type, and the current version. Then over here you have different shooting templates. So you have pan photo, time lapse, time shift, slow motion, and so on for more creative shooting. Now, something else you can do that is similar to the default camera app, if I want to quickly set the exposure and focus, I can just tap on the screen. And if I want to lock the focus and exposure, I can just tap hold and you'll see auto exposure, autofocus is locked. So that is it, guys. A quick walk through the Insta360 app and the settings I use for shooting my cinematic vlog videos. So the first tip I have for you is to get your vlogging setup right. Now, I'm using a wireless mic along with the Flow 2 Pro's built-in extension pole. This allows me to be further away from the camera and capture more in the frame. Now, for convenience, I'm using the selfie camera. This lets me see myself and also use the teleprompter feature on the Insta360 app, which I'm actually using right now. Now, for the best quality, I do recommend using the main lens on the rear camera. Also, if you're worried about being cut out of the frame, you can enable the Flow 2 Pro's AI tracking feature by pressing the trigger button. And as you can see, this keeps me centered in the frame no matter where I move my head, and it does a really good job. Now, if you prefer using a pro video app like the Blackmagic camera or the default camera app, you can also use the native tracking via DocKit, which will keep you centered in the frame no matter what app you're using. Now, what's also cool is that with the Insta360 app, you can track multiple people in your vlog, making it easy to follow your entire group. And I recommend setting a primary subject for better tracking. So the primary subject will be highlighted in green while the others appear white, especially when people move in different direction, as the gimbal will prioritize and keep the main subject in the center. Now, my second tip is to include B-rolls of yourself. Now, filming yourself can be tricky if you don't have anybody to help you, but with the Flow 2 Pro, it makes it easy. With gesture control, you can start and stop recording or enable tracking from a distance. No need to touch your phone to get the perfect shot. Now, the Flow 2 Pro also features infinite 360-degree pan capture your surroundings seamlessly, perfect for moments like enjoying a coffee outside. And with these advanced options, filming yourself is no longer a challenge, so don't hesitate to give it a try. Adding B-rolls of yourself adds a personal touch and variety to your vlogs. Now, another great feature on the Insta360 app is the active zoom, which allows you to zoom in up to 15 times. And this can be useful if you want to create a dynamic zoom tracking shot of your subject. You can enable active zoom tracking and auto zoom. And it followed really well and created a really cool shot that you can use in your travel vlogs. Now, for the best results, it's best to use the built-in tripod on the gimbal and place it on a flat surface. The next tip I have is to include a crane shot in your video. It's perfect for capturing your surroundings and setting the scene. With the Flow 2 Pro, it's super simple. This gimbal allows you to freely tilt the camera with unlimited 360-degree rotation. And by rotating the axis, you can create smooth upward or downward shots. Now, what's really cool is that by combining it with the AI tracking, you can create amazing dynamic shots like this one. Something that's hard to achieve by hand or with other foldable gimbals. Now, another cool shot you can include in your videos is a time lapse. And this is a great way to show the passage of time and make your travel videos look more fun. Focus on things like moving clouds or people to keep it interesting. Keep your camera steady by placing it on a flat surface because shaky footage won't look great on a time lapse. And you can use the time lapse function inside the Insta360 app to add movement like panning across the frame to make the time lapse even more dynamic. So yeah, these were some tips on how to use the Flow 2 Pro to create your travel vlog. Now, I think anyone who creates videos should consider investing in the Flow 2 Pro. It's a versatile and innovative tool that can help elevate your video's content to the next level. It costs at $159 for the standard bundle or $189 for the creator kit. Now, I really enjoy using the gimbal. It has simple controls that makes it easy to use without feeling overwhelmed. Now, let me know what you think about the Flow 2 Pro. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. Thank you so much for watching, and if you want to learn more about creating dynamic gimbal moves, check out this video right here where I go over the techniques in detail. Thank you so much, stay creative, and see you the next time.